Hello, Homo sapiens.
早晨好，中国，不浪费时间，早买，因为明天。
What's up, guys? We're back. I'm back with a quick discussion. I'm here with my stepbrother, Henry.
What's good?
And and we're here to talk about our thoughts on the Borderlands movie that recently came out. So,
It was terrible.
if you haven't heard yet, this movie is one of the worst movies to come out, apparently, in recent times. And it bombed at the box office. It did $4 million out of the $110 million budget. And yeah, so I want to preface this discussion by once again saying that, number one, we are not Borderlands fans. I mean, we play video games, but we're not specifically fans of the game Borderlands, so we're not biased at all. We are basically exactly what they want the core audience for this movie to be. And then number two, we went to this movie specifically because we heard it was going to be bad. I don't know about you, but I didn't even hear this movie even came out until I heard how bad it was.
I didn't even know like anything about Borderlands. Like I didn't even know this movie was really coming out, especially with the cast and everything. Like such a stacked cast.
No, yeah, and then I also want to say that when we chose this movie, it was either between we were in the mood to torture ourselves. It was a Saturday night, we were bored, and we were either gonna watch this or Harold and the Purple Crayon, and we literally could not find a theater near us that had Harold and the Purple Crayon showing. I think the nearest one was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was far. Dude.
It was a faraway theater for apparently the comedy event of the summer. So if you guys enjoy this, we'll go watch that as well and give you our thoughts on it. But I wanted to come on here and wanted to discuss our thoughts on it because a lot of people have been saying this is like the worst movie ever, and I would like to say that it's actually not that bad. It's not a good movie, but it's not as bad.
It's not unbearable.
Yeah, it's not that bad. So let's just start finally. So basically, okay. So how do we even start talking about this?
Well, first we got to the theater, all right, and I let him go ahead because I figure it's an empty theater, right? So I'll be able to find him no problem. And then I walk into the theater, and it's completely packed out. Like literally all of the seats are taken except for like one or two, which is like where I was sitting.
And keep in mind, apparently this movie was like people were working at AMC and no one was going to see this movie. So we were totally under the impression it was like an empty theater. And I didn't even realize that our tickets were the second row. We were row 2 at this movie. I didn't even realize that until I got to the theater and noticed that it was completely packed out. And the audience, I would say, was mixed. I would say it was some families, which I would assume. This is kind of a family movie, I would think. And then, like, I only saw 2 people who actually cared about Borderlands in this theater. So the audience is pretty obvious on who is going to see this movie, if they're even aware of it.
Yeah, there was about, like, one lady who laughed in the entire
the
whole time.
So we don't want to talk too much about how like what everyone already has talked about. Obviously it's common knowledge by now. This movie is really badly written.
Can you grab my badonkadonk?
You what now?
The CGI is really bad, and the casting is really bad. They cast like a 50-year-old lady, as the main character. I want to apologize to Borderlands fans. I would equivalent this to having not Ryan Gosling be casted as Link in the Zelda movie. I would probably have a meltdown. But yeah, there was one lady in the theater who laughed like the entire time. They weren't even like the least funny. The least funny ones, she was laughing. If I had to compare her to someone else, we also went to see the Bob's Burger movie one time, and they were laughing at every unfunny joke. So I would say like it's an overlap of audience.
Attention movie lovers, if you see my popcorn flying in the air, please don't be startled. Thank you.
I don't even know if she played Borderlands ever. I think she just went because I don't know. I don't really know why anyone who isn't a fan or knows about video games would go to see this.
I feel like it's probably because they haven't heard the bad reviews or anything, but they have heard about this cast,
Right.
They hear all these big names.
Right,
and
because
they're like, well, it must be good,
Yeah, no, I mean Jack Black is in it, right?
Yeah.
And
Building rocks.
Kevin Hart, it happened. We walked out, disappointed Borderland fans behind us talking about, I knew it was going to be bad, obviously. Because the ads also, I don't know if you even saw the ads for this movie. I didn't. I saw a poster once, like over 6 months ago, and I thought it was going to be another Amazon show after the success of the Fallout show. And I want to bring up Fallout because I would say Fallout is another series that is pretty much in the same area for me. I don't know about you, but for me in the video game sphere is like, I don't really know it, but it's always been there.
Yeah, same.
And I was interested in seeing it. You know, I watched the Fallout show, and I actually enjoyed it. You know, it was a good show. And I think they were trying to do the same thing here with this movie, and we got this. Just from the poster,
yeah.
I thought it was like the same thing as Fallout, where they're like, okay, they're gonna like build on these characters individually with like weird episodes. No, we don't get any character building at all in the movie. But you know, like I said, everyone's already talked about how bad the casting was.
We gotta talk about the CGI though.
Okay, yeah,
let's talk.
Yeah, so my favorite one was with this the girl is throwing bombs off of like a structure, and it just like I think it was a mix of the CGI and the way they shot it. It's just like really weird camera angle, like from below her, and she's just throwing these fake ass bombs. Like it looked horrible. Like it looked like a
Yeah,
made for TV movie. It looked like a made for TV movie. That's how I would explain it.
Oh well, for me it was that there's this one supervillain guy, and like I don't know, he has this Eastern European accent,
Oh,
and then so there's this scene at the bar, and then he gets shot, and then all of a sudden he gets this like holographic projector on his face, and it's like it reminded me of like Spy Kids 3D, but like way worse. Like it was really bad, and I was just like I genuinely couldn't hold my laughter.
Yeah, dude,
I thought it was so funny.
Like for comparison, also Spy Kids is like what, like a 2003 movie.
Yeah, right.
This is 2024. Then there was also a scene I remember where I thought you were gonna bring it up. Actually, I didn't even remember that one. She's driving. It's just like a scene where she's driving by the camera. She's in a vehicle, and the vehicle is not shaking the same way she's shaking. It looks totally fake.
It's just
like,
so obviously it's like old fashioned like green screen
no, yeah.
bullshit technology.
There was a lot of those where the lady is on a motorcycle in front of the camera, and it looks like the Kanye West Bound 2 video. Like it looks like it's a green screen. But you know, aside from the CGI, right? Aside from all that shit, is this movie the worst movie ever? And I'm gonna say no. I don't know.
I'm gonna say no as well.
And is it the worst video game movie? I'm also gonna say no, because I would say the worst video game movie is the Mario Bros movie from the 90s. That is literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. This doesn't even come close to it.
Yeah.
In comparison, if you know what I'm talking about, this doesn't even come close to that. And in terms of bad movies of the past few years, this doesn't even come close to the Emoji Movie.
Sweetie, you're so handsome when you make that face.
Actually, it comes a little close, but the Emoji Movie is way worse than this movie is.
And also the Garfield movie.
Okay, oh my, dude, I forgot about the Garfield. We also went to see the Garfield movie this summer.
Don't get me started.
Here's the thing that I'm thinking about. If I was a kid, because there were kids sitting next to us in the theater, if I was a kid watching this movie, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's not like I wouldn't hate it. I
totally agree.
And it's short and sweet. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, I wouldn't say sweet, but it's short movie. I don't know how long exactly. I think it's an hour 20 minutes. Yeah, there's a bunch of explosions and shit. You know, it's really bad. If I was a Borderlands fan, I would probably want to peel my skin off while watching it, because you know it's really bad.
Right.
If I was a fan of Borderlands, I would have a totally different opinion on this.
Right.
But from a general audience perspective, right? It's not that bad of a movie.
Thinking back to like Peabody and Sherman when we watched that, I remember loving that as a kid.
Yeah.
And then we rewatched it, and it was horrible.
Right.
So that's how I feel about this movie. Like,
right.
you know, I feel like you were saying, as a kid, I would probably eat that shit up. But,
yeah.
You know, today it's just like, this ain't it. You know.
Yeah, because there was kids in there, you know, and I don't think they don't give a fuck about continuity in the script or anything, right? Obviously, that does not a defense for this fucking movie. That's not okay. But I'm saying, like, when I was a kid and I watched the Mario Bros movie, I hated that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I hated that movie. And I was a kid. I was like a fucking, I was like a fucking snotty ass kid. But if I was a snotty kid today, I know myself. If I watched this movie, I would not. It would just be a movie. I would just not watch it again. But I wouldn't like hate it. And I think that's the thing, that the point that we're trying to make here in this review is that it's a bad movie. It's kind of laughably bad. Sometimes, but I mean, it's not it's not the worst movie. And I wouldn't encourage you to go see it, because I don't think you should give money to the producer, the the two time, what's it called? Two something. I don't know. It's called something. The parent company, you know, the whole CEO talking about shit. Yeah. Don't give money to them. Just watch it illegally if you're gonna watch this movie.
All those emotional scenes they tried.
Right.
It just felt so fucking.
No, like.
It was horrible.
This movie doesn't even feel like a real movie. I sat through it. I forgot half of it. We
yeah, for real.
I genuinely
don't remember like half of what happened. It felt like there was like a lot of important pieces missing from like the story, and then like there was a lot of useless shit that they put in there instead. I don't know. Obviously,
this is gonna get compared to recent video game movies, and then Critical specifically mentioned older video game movies being a comparison for this. Like this is one of those. It's not as bad as those. Like, old video game movies are significantly fucking worse. And that might just be because it was, like, the 90s. And, like, it was worse technology across the board. This is not as bad as that. It's just a mid-movie. That's kind of funny bad.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say about it. It's not that bad. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not walk out of the theater bad.
No, I sat there.
And there are some moments that are so bad. They'll probably make you laugh.
Yeah, you'll have a good laugh.
If you like bad movies to hate on them, just to have fun with how stupid they are, then I think you'll probably
you'll get a
good time.
You'll have a good set. I mean, we were bored. It was Saturday night. I enjoyed my time at the Borderlands film. For how horrible it is, I enjoyed my time with it. So. And
it's only like an hour and a half.
It's not like Avatar 2, where you're like sitting there for 3 hours. That was really bad. See, I'm not a fan of Avatar, and I wanted to peel my skin off watching that. I couldn't fucking handle that shit.
I liked it at first, but it was just so dragged. It was crazy.
But yeah, I just wanted to get on here because I want to clear the air a little bit because it's a little too. People are hating on it too much. This isn't the Emoji Movie. It's not that bad. It's not 0%
on right.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, there's no way it should be 0. I mean, it has actually been updated to 6%.
Sure.
But it's watchable.
Yeah. I agree. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I ain't got no time for that junk.